Hello, hello, how's it going, everybody? Minion with the first. And he says it's been a while, but you know, I think there was a recent one. I think it was pretty recent. All right, so we're back to Castlevania Legends. I did. Oh, wow, Castlevania Legends. We did like most of it, right? I beat the game mostly. I found all the collectibles except for... it seems like there's one collectible in every level, and I didn't get the one in the last level, it seems. So, let us fix that now with this kind of awkward camera angle here, but we got, blammo. Castlevania Legends, let's pop it in. Oh god, oh god. Okay. All right, we got technical things going on. Fucking I just woke up. Don't stream 1 minute after waking up. OBS is Oh, hang on. What do we got here? Is it failing to load? Failure to launch? Okay. Oh, yeah. I'm now realizing I don't know if I ever cleaned this cartridge. Which I hate when I forget to clean a cartridge, because that means that if it is dirty, then I'm putting a dirty game into my Game Boy. And I'm dirtying up my Game Boy, you know what I mean? But alright, here we go. So we're playing standard mode. Remember, light mode is easy mode. It makes it so that your whip... It makes it so that your whip is always fully upgraded. And alright. You know, I did draw maps of the first few levels, but then I figured out kind of a better way to track where the collectibles are in the game, I think. You don't really need a map or anything. So how the game seems to work is it checkpoints you at doors. So anytime that you go through a door, it checkpoints you, and it's a point of no return. And so whenever there's two ways to go, you just go whichever way doesn't end in a door. And that should probably find you the collectibles or something that you're looking for. So alright, so let's try it again. This game is pretty short. It's not going to take that long to play through, I don't think. But, you know, we want to find the thing this time. There was one more thing that I didn't find, and I would like to find it this time. And then we're good. So, so there we are. Oh, shit. You know what I just remembered? So I was saying that we might play Nocturne later. I did just remember, though, that there's a new patch for Astral Gunners out, and I gotta maximize my score in that game. Maybe I won't stream the process of like optimizing the level, and instead I'll just stream arcade mode once I've got it down. Crow Sworn. I think someone told me about it once. Oh my god. In this game, you gotta jump all the way. You gotta jump all the way onto the ropes. I think someone told me to check it out, and then I didn't. That's what I remember of Crowsworn. I think it might have been during like... Oh, does it now? I was gonna say, that I thought someone told me about it during Valheim, and it might be a Valheim-y kind of thing. I might also be getting it mixed up with a different game. Okay. But yeah, that's another thing coming pretty soon, is gonna be a hack of Hollow Knight. We're gonna do a rando run. Really, you gotta hit those ropes with conviction. Yes, your character is a lady in this one. You're playing as... Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Her name is... It's not Maria. I feel like it starts with an L. Like, fuck. I can't remember her name. She's a Belmont. Yeah, you can tell from her, yeah, you know, and she's got a little bit of thigh going on, you know. On certain parts, on certain animations, you can kind of see, like, she's wearing high heels, it looks like. You know, as you'd expect a vampire hunter to. She's also got, like, some pixelated Game Boy boobs that seem like they might be a little bit too high up. But, you know, these are just... You couldn't really tell any of this on the original Game Boy screen, perhaps. Yeah, Minion, that's another one of those general, like, retro game rules, which is that climbing down a ladder is fine. It's like when you hit the bottom of the screen, the game checks whether you're on a ladder. And if you are, it sends you down. And if you're not, you die. Or something. You know what I mean? I think the same thing happens in Mario 2. Wait, no. It wouldn't happen in Mario 2. What am I talking about? I've seen it happen in other games. Is it Mega Man? Now I can't remember. I've definitely seen it happen in other games, though. So... I don't know if it can happen in Castlevania 2. Like, because Castlevania 2 doesn't have things that you climb down like that, but it's got staircases, right? If there was ever a staircase going down, and you fell to the bottom of the screen instead of going down the staircase, I bet it would kill you. But I don't remember there being a scenario where that would happen. There probably is, though. Yeah, there are parts that scroll up and down. I think we go right here if we want the collectible. If I remember the layout of this level correctly. Oh, the slowdown. The Game Boy can barely handle this many enemies. Alright, there we go. There's our first collectible. So that's what we're after. I think there's one in every level. But I'm not sure. Not sure. We got this guy not sure. He's gonna solve all our problems. Oh God. What up, Foxy? 3 week. What you talking about? Metroid Dread? Is that when Metroid Dread comes out? Is this a way you can go? No, oh, okay. Oh, okay, right. I don't remember there being like a 3 week thing in the movie. Like a urgency, like a time limit. You know, it's been a while since I've seen Idiocracy, actually. I've seen it a good amount of times, though. Oh, no. He says he's gonna fix all our problems. And he's gonna do it all in a week or something like that. I think that's what he says. Yeah. Is it 3 weeks? Okay. Okay, I remember that now. Oh man, what a classic movie. I've been watching some Beavis and Butthead stuff lately, and so recently, like a few months ago, I watched Beavis and Butthead Do America, and I thought it was pretty great. Like, it was better than I expected. When I was a kid, I loved Beavis and Butthead, of course, and then when I tried to watch Beavis and Butthead more recently, though, I found the pacing to be much too slow. You know? Like, good God, it just takes them so fucking long to say anything, you know? But I thought that the movie didn't really do that. The movie didn't really have that problem. It moved along nicely enough. And I really liked it. I thought the movie was great. Yeah, the movie's quite good. But yeah, I tried watching the cartoon. And man, the cartoon just moves so slowly. And I figured out what it is specifically. A lot of the time they'll have like a funny joke or something, and then they have to do like the laugh, and then one of them says that was cool, right? That's what slows the scenes down. That wastes every, or that's the thing that wastes 20 seconds every joke, you know? That's all. That was cool. Right? Like, it's not really that funny of a joke for them to say that all the time. And good God, is it a waste of time. I just saw on YouTube there's a compilation of just the MTV stuff. It looks like it might be Batwoman. But I'm not sure. Oh, geez. Should you always run right, apparently? Whoa! Wow. The backside hitbox of that is pretty ridiculous. So it looks like in this game, the different sub-weapons you get are like the different elements. Like there's a light, so this is the, whoops. So this is the the wind weapon, but the wind weapon just stops time. I'll accept that. But I'm pretty sure we're about to get like a, well, I don't know if they're all the different elements, but because like, I mean, you get wind, water, and fire. But then it looks like instead of earth, the last one to me looks like it's light. When you get it. So yeah, I think I'll probably move on to some Nocturne later. So yeah, so far so good on this level, you know, you just kind of walk straight along until they give you 2 ways to go. The show Daria originated from Beavis and Butthead. No. I never saw that one, though. Is it Mike Judge on that one also? Bro. Oh, okay. Oh, right, and you just freeze these guys because they're assholes otherwise. Whoa, you can drop through that? I just tried it to be silly. Yeah, I can't remember the guy's name, but so Hank, or King of the Hill was also made by Mike Judge, who made Beavis and Butthead. And yeah, that character is, Hank Hill is basically like a them building out that character from Beavis and Butthead. Them boys been whacking off in my tool shed. That guy. I cannot remember what his name is. Is it Mr. Anderson? I was gonna say I was thinking Mr. Anderson, but then I was thinking, nah, that's South Park. But I'm thinking of Mr. Garrison from South Park. Okay. Mystery solved. What up, rocket science? Alright, so that bridge over there is like a point of no return. So we gotta go this way. Oh! Cool, I got the extra life. She is keeping me warm, yeah. Pretty cozy over here. Ah, there we go. There we go, jeez. Okay. Oh man, last night, so I finally got around. In the Discord, Mons posted that, what's his name? Brian Regan? Was that the guy? Stand-up special? And it was pretty funny because, I really enjoyed it, first of all. But, what was funny was the entire time I was thinking, man, this guy reminds me of Jim Gaffigan. Like, all his material is very Jim Gaffigan-y, just without the silly voice, you know? Jim Gaffigan does, like, the silly voice. The guy reminded me a ton of Jim Gaffigan. Then he gets to this one joke about Fig Newtons and about how he was reading the nutrition facts on the Fig Newtons, right? Oh yeah, oh hey, these Fig Newtons, these nutrition facts, you know, these Fig Newtons, they seem pretty good. But then he reads the serving size, and the serving size is 2 cookies. 2 cookies! I eat Fig Newtons by the sleeve, right, is what he's saying? And, this was very interesting to me because at this moment I realized I've seen this special before on TV. Years ago, I saw this on TV, and I didn't know who he was. I didn't know who this guy was, and I just saw that part. And then I think years later, I saw a Jim Gaffigan bit and went, oh, this is the Fig Newton guy. And so I've always, like, remembered the Fig Newton bit as being a Jim Gaffigan thing. Which I just thought that was funny because I was already watching this special thinking, man, this guy really reminds me of Jim Gaffigan. And then that particular thing stands out. But anyway, I thought that whole special was really good. I liked all of it, you know. A lot of very basic stuff, you know. Yes, the walked on the moon thing was part of it. Which I liked the lead into the joke more, where he's saying, you cannot tell a story about getting your wisdom teeth removed because the 4 wisdom teeth people will parachute in, bust through the skylights to tell you they got 4 wisdom teeth pulled. Yeah, there was a lot of really good stuff in there, but you know, it's all very basic stuff, you know. Stories about funny things about, you know, going to the ER, riding an airplane, nutrition labels on food, you know. You can't do a blind run of Symphony? I thought that, the Symphony playthrough went very well. Whoa, I made the jump. I couldn't make this jump yesterday. Or the last day that I played this. Okay, I guess he's leaving. Yeah, one thing about this game that I'll say is, I give 0 shits about, like, whether the game is canon and what's canon. Like, it's funny how much people seem to be into the lore of these games, 'cause I don't care at all, like, what the story and lore is of these games, and what the timeline is, and who the characters are. I just like the games, you know? But yeah, anytime I bring up Castlevania Legends, someone's like, did you know that one's non-canon? I'm like, yeah, every other person has told me that also, but who cares? It's not like the game doesn't exist anymore. Or like Foxy was saying the other day, it's not like any of this shit actually happened. Whoa. Well, It's one of those things where it's like, I can't even imagine someone arguing that for real. Someone actually saying he would retcon a game simply because it had a female lead character and he doesn't like that. That's just absurd to even think that, you know? And it's hard for me to believe that someone would actually think that in good faith. It's like one of those things that, like, someone would say as a joke, sarcastically, and then, like, children who don't have a sense of irony would then pass it on as if it was true. You know what I mean? Is this the second level or the third level? This is the second level. Yes, we're on the second level right now. So I've already gotten the collectible. Right, that's definitely part of it too, Foxy. And that's kind of what I mean when I say that, like, I can't imagine someone actually thinking it in good faith, as opposed to, you know. It's hard. It's a little hard to explain. Look how fucking cute this boss is. Oh man, I had the weirdest part of my dream. I don't know how much anyone cares about hearing about someone else's dream, but it was really weird. Yeah. Can you steal a strawberry shortcake from it? My dream? So, I've completed Strawberry Shortcake, the Sweet Dreams game for PlayStation 2. And I'm still not sure whether that's a reference to Strawberry Shortcake. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the dream I had, and I was relating it to Strawberry Shortcake, the Sweet Dreams game. And I was thinking, is there like a whole dream lore behind Strawberry Shortcake? Whoa. Whoa. What the hell? Man, I can't remember this character's name. I swear it's like Lydia, but that's like... That's like too... I don't know. Sonya! I think it is Sonya. Yeah. That is absolutely what her name is. Like Sonya Blade. Just remember that. Why would you remember that? I don't know. How is that any easier to remember? Oh my god, the bats. I still haven't watched Mortal Kombat fucking... What's the second one called? Annihilation? I watched the first Mortal Kombat movie a couple weeks ago. A couple months ago, actually. And, oh, cool. That's what you've contributed. That's super fun. I thought it was a pretty decent movie. Hey, you gotta have faster fingers than old Quick Draw over here. Yeah, so I watched that Mortal Kombat movie recently, and, there were things about it that were, like, pretty good, you know? Where, yeah, the first one. It really seemed like everyone was trying to make a good movie. Here's how it felt, right? It seemed like they were really trying to make a good movie. The performances were quite good. The script was pretty decent, right? You know, there were a lot of fight scenes in it. That's a very good thing, you know? A lot of fight scenes in it that had pretty good choreography. All this kind of stuff. Hey, Essie. My only thing is that I can just see it. What was happening while they made that movie was, like, everyone's trying to make a good movie, but then, like, the investors, the corporate suits are just like, yeah, but it's a kid's movie. What's this, Mortal Kombat? It's about video games. Video games are for kids. It's a kid's movie. We gotta put kid stuff in it, right? And so, oh my god, some of this fucking kid stuff that's in the movie, like it's for kids. You got, like, Reptile, you know? You can. Here, let's choose a different palette for you guys. How about this one? Do you like this one? Now we got some color. Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is the one. This might be the palette that looks pretty good on Metroid 2. Alright. This song really sounds like it's from the old Metal Gear game. It's something about this, like, overdriven backing track. Yeah, my brother had a Game Boy Pocket when I was a kid, and I was super jealous. Super jealous of it. This palette actually looks pretty decent. I like this one. But yeah, I just like the black and white look the most. But then if you're nostalgic for, like, some actual, like, game, like, if you played OG Game Boy, like the original Fat Boy like I had, this is pretty much what it looked like. Alright. But yeah, do you know what I mean about this Mortal Kombat movie, though? It's got, like, oh my god, like Reptile. Like, Reptile is this just, like, big, dumb, like, embarrassing CG monster, you know? Oh god, the Reptile CG was so bad. But if you're, like, 7, you know? If you're, like, 7, it was probably the coolest looking thing you'd ever seen. Yeah, Taco, exactly. It's like that second Blues Brothers movie where for some reason, wait, it's just a trap over here, I remember. For some reason, they made the second Blues Brothers movie like a kids movie. Which I think they also did the same thing with RoboCop and Mad Max. They made like kids versions of them. Yeah, I don't know. This is all I'm saying is that like trying to make kids versions of adult things was like a big thing back then. And it ruined the it partly ruined the Mortal Kombat movie. But dude, like, remember the fight scene between Scorpion and Johnny Cage? It's like pretty excellent, you know? Except for the CG part. It's all just the CG in the movie that's bad, but like the regular fight choreography is great. But like before they get to the actual fight when they're just in the forest, and Scorpion is like shooting his like get over here chain at him, and the chain it has like a bird head on it, and it looks embarrassingly stupid. You know, stuff like that, it just looks so bad. But then they start fighting, and it's like, hey, the fight choreography is great. And these actors are great. So yeah. Oh my god. And then Christopher Lambert as Raiden was entertaining. At first I was like, what the hell is this casting choice, you know? But then like over the course of the movie he kind of grew on me. And then when I looked him up later, because I didn't know who he was, because I haven't seen Highlander, I looked up his IMDb page later and was like, oh, okay. This is just like Epic Guy. That's his thing. Got it. Cheesy Epic Guy, I should say. I've never seen Highlander. I did try to watch it once, and I think I was a little bored by it. But maybe I should try again. Have you ever noticed by what a wide margin it is that Terminator 2 is the best action movie of all time? It's like ridiculous. Have you guys fucking watched Terminator 2 recently? Like no other action movie comes close. There's a fucking car chase where one of the guys is in a semi-truck, and the other guy is in a helicopter. It's like a car chase in a movie, but it's a fucking 18-wheeler and a helicopter. It's nuts. It's you know, and it's one of those movies where you can't help but sit there and just like appreciate the craftsmanship of a good action scene, you know? Where it's all real, you know? Total Recall. I have not seen Total Recall. So you know, I talk about Terminator 2 like it's so great, though. You know, though I've not seen that. I've also not seen Point Break. Oh yeah, so when I was younger, we had Terminator 2 taped from VHS. Like, or like we had it taped from TV on VHS. So I always had a TV edit version of the movie growing up. Where like it didn't show all the violence. And instead of dipshit, he calls him a dipstick. You know, stuff like that. And it was fine, you know. Oh yeah, it's funny with Keanu Reeves. Do you guys remember? You can look it up in the fucking archives. Do you remember like 4 years ago when I was talking about how much I like Keanu Reeves and everyone was laughing at me? And I was like, you guys don't understand. He's great in every movie that he's in. And people are like, yeah, but that role is just made for him. Neo, that role is just made for him. So of course he's good in it. And it's like, okay. And then Bill and Ted. You know, what about Bill and Ted? Oh, you know, that's just like, that's his kind of role. Okay. You know. And then people were saying like Point Break was good too. And it's like, it sounds like this guy is just good in every type of role. I mean, that's probably not technically true, but you know what I'm saying, though. It's like, he's just good in every movie he's in. And everyone was fucking laughing at me, dude. Now Keanu Reeves is everybody's husbando. Ah! Oh! Okay, so I'm actually a little confused right now. There's spiders here? Did I forget? Did I forget one of the collectibles? No, I have 3 of them. Okay, we're good. We're good. This enemy placement is very frustrating, by the way. The one that we're about to witness. Yeah, cool, thanks. Actually, I should have used the stopwatch. People do love Jack Black. And yeah, I know what you mean. Jack Black is a lot more similar in each role that he's in, probably. The only movie I can think of where Jack Black wasn't just Jack Black that I can think of is King Kong. And I liked his role in King Kong. Despite his role being part of what was wrong with that movie, of like, oh, we got the turbocharge. I should probably read the manual of this game. Because sometimes you get this fucking turbocharge where like, now I can move really fast. Oh, and now the B meter is going down? I've been thinking that the B meter was the boss health bar this entire time, and never stopped to consider that whenever I'm fighting a boss, that's not the case. It's not what's happening. So now I gotta figure out... Now I gotta figure out how to refill my B meter. Bernie. I think I've heard of that. Whoop. Uh-oh. I'm just gonna freeze again. We got the hearts for it. So, if I remember right, I think it's like just a chicken at the end of this whole way. Oh yeah? How was he in Nacho Libre? Was Nacho Libre, Was that made by the same people as, like, Epic Movie and Disaster Movie and stuff? No, no. It might have been made by the Napoleon Dynamite people, though? An actor that has a lot of range? Gary Oldman comes straight to mind for some reason. Or like, Let me try and think of some others. Fucking Jim Carrey, I think, has a pretty amazing range. Ah! The documentary about the Man on the Moon movie? Oh? Yeah, I know, like, a lot of people don't like Jim Carrey himself, right? But, yeah, I don't know, man. He's a really good actor that has a huge range. I think Nicolas Cage has a good range, too. Ah! Do. I don't know. I'm trying to think of stuff that I've seen Robin Williams in. Because the only Robin Williams stuff I can think of is, like, Ms. Doubtfire. Which is probably the... Do you think Ms. Doubtfire is the most seen movie of all time? like the most people have seen Ms. Doubtfire the most times? I just feel like at any time in the world, at any time in the entire world, Ms. Doubtfire is playing on cable TV somewhere. You know what I mean? You can turn on cable TV at any time and flip through the channels and you'll find Ms. Doubtfire. Oh yeah, Home Alone. Man, was Macaulay Culkin in anything after Home Alone? Because I know he seemed to disappear for a really long time. Oh yeah, like there's that movie like A Christmas Story or whatever the fuck it's called. That everyone loves. I've never seen the movie A Christmas Story, and I never want to. I'm so sick of the movie without ever having even seen it. Right. Yeah, well, right. I think we got a couple conversations mixed up there. Because my question about the most watched movie of all time, I was thinking, maybe it's that dumb Christmas Story movie that no one shuts up about. But yeah, I recently saw, like, Macaulay Culkin kind of, like, disappeared for a while, right? But, he made a guest appearance on a Red Letter Media thing, a couple Red Letter Media things, actually. And I guess he does a podcast now or something? He has a website called Bunny Ears, where they do at least a podcast, but I'm not sure if they do something else. No one actually watches it. They just buy merchandise of it. What are some movies like that? Where, like, people haven't actually seen it, they just but they buy the merch for it cuz it's like funny or cool. I feel like there's a big one. The Goonies. Like, Alien comes to mind, right? I bet there's a lot of people who, like, you know, or like, yeah, just like, oh no! Like, you know, a lot of people probably haven't seen the movie Alien. The movie's from 1970 fucking something dash. It probably sucks. The effects are probably terrible. Star Wars, Star Trek. It seems like everyone's seen Star Wars. Well, not the old ones. Nah, you're right. People who like, you know, like Han Solo and fucking Jabba the Hutt and stuff. You know, yeah, you know, I feel like maybe a lot of people haven't seen classic Star Wars. Oh man, not to get too far up my own ass or whatever, but like, oh man, people who like act like Boba Fett is really cool. I don't know about people like that, man. Well, Boba Fett got his own TV show, right? Because this is kind of my point. Maybe like Boba Fett does something cool in his show that he got. But ask yourself the question. Why did Boba Fett get his own TV show? He never did anything cool before he got his own TV show. And yeah, it's Star Wars. Whoa! The enemy placement in this level is very diabolical. Dude, I'm telling you, I can't even see the green anymore. I like totally forgot that we were on this ugly-ass green palette. Whoa, not... This actually kind of hurts my eyes now. The black and white. It's like too bright. Now it's too bright. What up, Croc? Welcome back. Congrats on the new, Congrats on the new... computer. Oh, Boba Fett doesn't have his own TV show? I thought he did. And I didn't know that it had anything to do with The Mandalorian. I have no idea what Mandalorian means. I thought that was a Marvel thing. There's so much goddamn Disney now that, as, you know, as someone who, doesn't have any reason to keep up with it, I, can't keep up with it. I'm trying to avoid a game over here, so I'm going for this life every time, but it really doesn't matter. Yeah, like on one hand, I feel sort of hypocritical talking about Disney stuff because like I don't watch any of it and I don't care about any of it, but then at the same time I still have opinions about it. But it's like I should just not bother even talking about it, you know? Ah, well, that's fun, Croc. You know what's cool about that? Is as you go through all the rooms again and shit. Well, assuming you don't know where the other 3% is that you didn't have yet, you know, you might find it now by accident going for the other stuff. Or going to get all the other stuff again. Okay, so I need this heart, and then I can freeze time. And then we can not get blasted back onto those spikes. There we go. Oh, there was a noise outside that Mia's interested in. Alright, there we go. Yeah, Hollow Knight is just one of those games where it's like, you want 100% it every time you play it, because everything that you do in the game is fun, you know? Where it's, you know, it's like, ooh, I get to do this part again. Oh, here's this part again, you know? Okay, here's all the, there was all the fake candles. And then, hey. What's the most fun part of Hollow Knight? My favorite part of it? I do really like Mantis Lords. Whoa! Yeah. So if we're talking boss battles, right? Like, my favorite bosses in the game are, like, Mantis Lords, Grim, one that shall not be named due to spoilers, but it's, you know, the one, right? But I'm wondering, like, if my favorite part of the game is even a boss fight. You know? I might just say, like, the whole Queen's Gardens area might be my favorite. My favorite part of it might be hearing Cornifer's humming tune every time you get to a new area. Ah! How exhausted with just everything the map shopkeeper is. Oh, yeah. I like it too, because, like, if you dream nail her, she says that, like, you know, that she's happy she settled down. Listening to Zote's 50-something precepts, that's a favorite part. Alright. Wait. Did we not get the collectible? Am I an idiot? Oh, I did get it. Okay, good. I was afraid to actually fight Alucard there because I didn't want to miss the collectible again. But yeah, you know, other favorite boss fights besides the ones I said, I also fucking love Soul Tyrant, Lost Kin, Hive Knight. Do. Alright, here we go. Whoops. Oh my god. So here's the boss that can't figure out that you can duck. The duck walk! It's too powerful! It's too powerful! Alright, so at this point, I would like to get a password so that we can redo the last level from the start if we need to. You have half the map in stags. Have the double jump, nice. Meh. Yeah, I think when I did the 100% Steel Soul, I think it was like 10.5 hours was my playtime at the end. But of course, naturally, like a Steel Soul run goes pretty quickly. Alright, so I think the idea here is we're gonna purposefully die and then say end on the continue screen so it gives me a password. Yeah, game over. What's my password? I'm afraid to press a button because I don't want it to automatically transition to the password screen just as I press A so that then I confirm past the password. You know what I mean? Okay, is this our password? It's watch bottle meat candles? Is that my password? Oh yeah. Watch bottle meats candles. This is supposed to be meats. Yep, there we go. All right. So the password gives us... It puts us on the last level with all of the collection items that we currently have. That way I can search this level for the collectible. Because last time I didn't find the collectible. And the problem is that when you get to a checkpoint in this game, it checkpoints you even after you have to continue. Like, if you get a game over, you're still checkpointed. So if you miss the collectible and then go through a checkpoint, there's no way to get back. So I wanted to get the password so that if we get to the end of this level, like if we got to the end of this level, like we got to the boss and I hadn't found the collectible yet, we'd be fucked. I'd have to play through the game again, you know, in order to find it. But this way we can just load the password. Whoops. Whoops. So yeah, here's our first checkpoint. Oh man, Nicole and I are altering the deal for cats. So, when we first got cats, I was kind of saying that, like, boy, I sure want to have cats, but I kind of can't stand doing a litter box, you know? I kind of can't handle it. Like, when I was a kid, even when I was a kid, I've never been able to, like, handle dealing with a litter box. Partly because of, like, ammonia, you know? And like, when I was a kid and I had to do the litter box, I would just sit there, like, gagging my guts out as I was doing it, you know? So I didn't want to do it. So, my deal with Nicole was that I'll buy all the litter, right? I'll pay for all the litter as long as she does the litter box, right? That's been our deal. However, I'm starting to realize it's not the fairest of deals, and you can't really, you know, I can't really expect her to do it. She does a pretty good job, right? But, like, here's what happened. So she was just gone for, like, 3 days, and the thing is, this deal has been our deal for a long time. So, like, I don't even really think about the litter box a lot of the time. So she was just gone for 3 days, and on the 3rd day I realized, I was like, wait a second, I haven't done the litter box. And later, let's just say, last night when Nicole got back home, I asked her, like, did you do the litter box before you left? And she was like, nah. So it had been in there for a while. And let me tell you guys, the cat litter box room was a fucking hellscape. I won't go into all the details, right? But, like, whoo boy. And I was like, alright, look, this is what I get, you know, this is what I get for this dumb deal that I made, because I couldn't handle doing the litter box. Now I gotta do the worst litter box ever, basically, you know? And so, it was one of those times where, like, there was no longer really litter in the box. It was like a box full of just like a one solid hunk of, you know, solidified litter. And I was, and like you know, like the scooper just hits it, right? You don't scoop with this, it just hits it. So, what I did was, I went to, Cub. I went to our grocery store, bought new litter, came back home. I have a dolly, you know, so I brought the dolly downstairs, because we have a big litter box, right? It's big, so that, because, oh man, our cats are such, they can't handle a smaller litter box. If our litter box is, back when we had a smaller litter box, our cats would just stand in the litter box and shit off the side of it. So we had to get a bigger litter box. Anyway, so we have a pretty big litter box. So I had to take my dolly downstairs and just pull the litter box onto the dolly and dolly it outside to our garbage can, open the garbage can and just lift it up and throw it in there and turn it upside down and like smack it out, you know, directly into the garbage. But then on the bottom of it was just all of this like ammonia soaked shit that I'm like gagging up thinking about right now. And I had to just take this thing in the garbage can and take the scooper and just fucking like scrape out the bottom of it, right? Just scraping all this shit off of it and then walking away gagging every couple every like little bit, you know? Until eventually it was pretty clean. Brought it back inside, filled it up with fresh new litter, vacuumed out the whole room, all that shit. So it was just completely refreshed. And that was my experience yesterday. That's what I was doing instead of streaming yesterday. For part of the day. So basically what my idea now is look. Here's what the new plan is. The litter box is getting cleaned every day now, and I'm no longer gonna be a big baby about it. I have now cleaned the dirtiest litter box ever, and so now if we're doing this litter box every day, it shouldn't be so bad, right? It won't be so bad every day. So that's the new plan. I'm no longer a big litter box baby, and we're gonna do it every day. Alternating. How about that? Life improvement choices. And yeah, Foxy, that's the thing, is that, like, the house is fine, right? But the room that the litter box is in, got pretty gnarly. But yeah, that's the thing though, is that like I do think that, like, you know, you gotta do a litter box every day, right? If you have a litter box, it should be getting done every day. But I was willing to whoa. I was willing to let Nicole just do her thing on it, because I didn't want to be part of it. You know what, so as far as the behavioral thing, Essie, what's interesting is our cats used to have some issues, some bathroom issues, but they've been better about it recently. Oh, dude, this reminds me about my dream last night. You know what? I bet this dream that I had last night was because of the litter box incident. So I had a dream that for some reason I had a pet sloth, right? I had a pet sloth. And and someone came over to my house, and they were like, "Oh, look at this look at this sloth you have, cute." And, what up, Dong Diggity? And they picked it up, and I'm looking at the sloth, and I'm going like, why is my pet sloth bigger today? Like, she looks kind of big. I guess she grew a lot or something. And he's holding her out, and I'm like, oh, wait a second. I think she might have to go to the bathroom. You should probably put her back down. And he's like, huh? And the sloth just starts shitting. Just shitting and shitting. Just the biggest shit you can imagine, right? And it's just all over the place. And then the person, they're like, oh my god, I gotta put the sloth back in its home so it can start shitting where it's supposed to shit. But it's just shitting so much that they can't like put it back, and it's just this huge nightmare. And then by the end of the shitting, the sloth is like back to normal size, and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, the sloth got big. The sloth was really big because it was full of the most unreasonable amount of shit. That was my dream. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing about it. We gotta find this collectible, man. People getting constipation because of surgery? Oh, weird. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, as far as like the behavioral things that go, we had a while where Magic kept not burying his poop. And this was a problem for a while. Like every once in a while, you'd come downstairs and just be like, what is that fucking smell? And you'd go over to the litter box and it'd be like, oh, yup, there's just an unburied shit there for some reason. And I don't know why he was doing that. But he just stopped, though. One day, he just stopped doing it. Or maybe Mia started burying his shit, who knows. But, oh man, this one time when I was doing the litter box for the cats, before the deal, this was one of the things that, like, caused the deal to be a thing. When Mia was like a kitten, right? Not a kitten, but she was like small. She was like 3 months old or something, or maybe 3 weeks. She was like 3 months old, right? Because it was when we first adopted her, and they had to be 3 pounds before they could get their shots, before we could adopt them, you know? I'm doing the litter box, right? I'm sitting there doing the scooping, and Mia just comes over, gets in the litter box, hangs her ass off the side of the litter box, and shits on the floor. And I was like, I've like never been madder in my entire life. But yeah, you know, stuff like that hasn't really been a problem anymore. Oh no. This is the last checkpoint. We made it to the last checkpoint. Okay, can you like drop down here? if you have like a glove on, yeah, you can. If you have like a glove on, their turds are formed enough where you can pick them up. Ooh, it's hard for me to talk about this stuff though. I probably shouldn't. It makes me pukey, makes me gaggy, just thinking about it. I think it's just like a human reaction, you know? It's like it's like a biological reaction to just like know that like you shouldn't be around this, you know? Like ammonia, right? Your body is just like telling you like you shouldn't be fucking with this. It's true. I started this puddle of cat piss. It's time for me to lie in it. What up, Dong Diggity? Thank you so much for the sub. Oh my god. Thanks, dude. So this is meat. Yeah, the cat eat tinsel off of a tree. That sounds like a very cat thing to do. Our cats love chewing on stuff like, it was pulling a turd from its butthole like a toy wagon. Oh my god. That is fucking funny. What is the deal with this room? I'm putting in the Konami code. How do you like that? What is this room? Do we have to use this? But yeah. My brother's old cat used to eat rubber bands all the time. And like, not all the time, right? But she would eat rubber bands if she found them. And then he'd just see like a rubber band hanging out of her butt. And of course he'd have to like go back, like you'd have to pull the rubber band out and hope that it doesn't like snap you with like its butt, cat butt all over it, you know? Yeah, hair, dude, Mia loves hair ties. I kind of wish I had one to show you. Oh, here's one. Oh, here she goes. Oh, she's getting pumped up. She's getting pumped up for it. It's just a little hair tie. There you go. She loves them. Loves them. Magic's the one that's like particularly into boxes. Magic loves chilling out in boxes. He also really likes laying on towels. This must be where you drop, right? Oh, here we go. Wait, what? Where the hell am I going? I found a secret level. Holy shit, dude, we found a secret level. New music. That room was just way too suspicious. Alright, here we go. Look at this dude chained up here. Your cat can fit in the Coke can sleeves. So she just likes to hide inside and pop out. Oh, yeah, yeah. You're talking about like the fridge packs? The narrow ones, though. Yeah. The fridge packs. It's a 12 pack, but it's long and strong. I remember when that was when those were brand new. Because before 24 packs and 12 packs both came in they were like rectangular prism shaped. Well, I suppose the fridge pack is also. They were more cube-like before. And then when the invention was, hey, we made 12 packs long and narrow so that they can fit in your fridge, blew people's fucking minds. There's a $1 billion idea for you right there. Imagine being the guy who invented the fridge pack. Differently shaped box, yeah, but like every single company adopted it because it was clearly an improvement. I can't move. Alright. So, so this room goes up, but it looks like we could go right. So let's try right. Whoa. Developed a box hoarding habit. Yeah, we definitely have a good number of boxes. I get a lot of boxes, though, because I order a lot of stuff online. Really? What's the thing about Tesla steering wheels? Oh! We got it, baby. The last collection item. They look like F1 steering wheels. Is that where they're like, it's like the top and the bottom is cut off, kinda? I don't really know what F1 steering wheels look like either. Unless that's what it's like. Where they're like more, they're wider. We can go up or right now. I guess let's go right. Okay, okay. Alright, so that way is the checkpoint. Let's check out what's the other way. So what do you guys want to see after old Castlevania Legends? We could get back to Nocturne. I had another great idea and I can't remember what it was. There's like a game I've been meaning to play. Oh, we could play Dino Crisis. You know, Dino Crisis. We could move on to the next Castlevania game, which is Castlevania 64. That one might need a little bit more time to be hyped up. We might need to hype up Castlevania 64 a little bit more. I could try to get that oh, what was it? I totally lost my train of thought there on what the next option was going to be. We could try to establish a speedrun time for Super Mario 64. Yeah, I have a little bit of excitement for Castlevania 64. I predict it'll be better than people say it is. This is what this guy does? Can we freeze him? No. Oh god, we can't freeze him. We can't freeze him and his hitbox is enormous. What? This game has had pretty fun bosses so far, where they do a pretty good job of making the boss be like something where the first time you see it, you're like, what the fuck? But then you just get it after a minute. I guess I could also start Dark Souls Soul Level 1, since that's something that I'm apparently going to be doing now. Oh god, it's not working. Ah! Alright, this boss is pretty tough. I do want to get back to Nocturne, though. I realize that that's not going to be the popular answer. But, I'm pretty far in that game now. And I haven't played it in a while. And at this rate, I'm definitely not going to be able to play SMT5 right when it comes out. Dude. I don't get this boss at all yet. Hey, speaking of bathroom habits of cats, I had a roommate that had like a 13-year-old cat, right? And she was like an old lady cat. And this cat peed in the toilet. She still pooped in a litter box, but she peed in the toilet. Isn't that nuts? I'm not sure how you train a cat to do that. I think you just... I mean, if you just, like, consistently allowed your cat, to, like, observe you peeing in the toilet, and they smell that it's pee in the toilet, maybe, they'll just figure out that that's where pee goes? Ugh. God damn this boss. You read a guide on it once? Oh yeah? Yeah, see, that's the thing is, my cat's also this one insists on observing me pee as well if I don't close the door. Mia actually jumped into the toilet while I was peeing in it one time. This is when she was like, when we first brought the cats home, so they had like never seen a toilet before, you know, because they were in they were in like the adoption place before. I'm standing there peeing, and she, like, gets up and, like, sniffs the pee stream. Like, the stream, right? And I'm like, And then she just fucking jumps into the toilet. And as you can imagine, very quickly jumped back out of the toilet when she was getting peed on. And there was water in the toilet. Isn't that right, Mia? Remember when I peed on you, Mia? To be more precise, remember when you jumped right into my pee stream, Mia? Yeah, she doesn't remember. It was a good time, though. Good times. Better not tell you about the time she jumped in the toilet while I was pooping in it. Okay, so he does that, and then we go boom. And then what? And then what? He jumps up. Boom. This is, like, insanely precise. Fuck. Yeah, a lot of dogs aren't so adverse to being in water, though, than cats are. It's kind of a funny thing, the way that most cats just hate being in water, you know? It's like they're, It's like their least favorite thing. Tries to join you in the shower. Oh, okay. So, tries to join you in the shower, doesn't want to get wet. Mia used to do the same thing because we used to have a shower curtain, right? Where there's an internal curtain that's clear, and there's an there's an internal curtain and there's an external curtain, right? And whenever we were showering, she would come up and stand between the curtains. Like she would stand on the edge of the bathtub between the curtains watching us shower. Now that we have sliding doors for the shower now, so she can't do it. She hasn't been able to do it since we've lived here. Dude, this, I think I get it now, but it is insanely precise. Oh. 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 Oh, shit. All right. But yeah, these cats definitely hate water. Like, I mean, I've had to bathe Magic a lot of times. Because, like, his long fur ends up getting him to need a bath sometimes. Just, like, a full-on, just, like, give him... Not with deep water. What I'll do is I'll put him in the bathtub and I'll have the water running. And I'll just, like, get a cloth wet and just, like, basically, like, pet him with a wet cloth, you know, to bathe him. And, he acts very good. You know, he behaves very well, but he does act like he's, like, wants to get out the whole time, you know? Oh my god. Dude, this boss is fucking insane. I'm not doing the long walk, I just want to try the boss again. I haven't needed to bathe him in a while though. He's been he's been doing very well on the cleanliness factor. Okay. Fuck! Oh my god! Every detail about this boss is insanely hard. Like, you can't jump up behind him, or you'll jump into the axe that he has behind him. So you have to jump just when he swings the axe. Right. That's a good idea, Foxy. I had that idea early on. Like, when these cats were, like, kittens, and I bathed them the first time, like, when we first had them, they were super good about it, you know? Oops. Oh my god. And then if you're standing on the, like, you guys gotta understand every moment of precision here. It's like fucking okay. So he's coming over. So you can't whip him right away because his axe is in the way. Then Then it's like you got to get him to jump over you, but he's got his axe behind his head, so you can't jump yet. You can't jump yet. Then you also have to get off the platform before he turns around, because his axe is so big that it goes up into the platform. So it's like you have to jump with perfect timing. You have to fucking you have to jump at just the right time where his axe is no longer behind his head, and then immediately get off the platform before he turns around. Which means you have to wait, and then you have to be quick. You know what I mean? So it narrows that gap of time that you're allowed to be behind him to this tiny little window. Like that. Uh-oh. Oh, I jumped too early again. And that gets you fucking double tapped, because then the knockback takes too long. Oh. I at least know what to do now. I just have to be perfect. Oops. Oh. Oh! God damn it! Alright, alright. Man, this is insanely hard. Oh! God. And now the fucking corner up on the right prevents you from jumping over his axe when you get to that platform. That's pretty great, too. That's a good joke. Oh, I jumped too early because his... Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, okay. Getting better at it. Getting better at it. Whoops. I don't think there's enough room to whip him on that one. Or I guess there probably is. Oh. Oh, look at me go. Oh, look at me go. No! 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 Oh my god! I was doing it for so long! How much fucking health does this guy have? Okay. Alright, you know what that means? That means we actually need more... We actually need more hearts. So I can do more damage to him early on. So that we don't have to keep up the fucking pattern for so long. There we go. We got 2 more hearts this time. So now we can blast him. No. No! No, I'm dead! God, it's so dumb! Okay. So I guess this boss is insanely precise and also has 1,000,000 HP. That's everyone's favorite combination. Oh, the little lizard buddy? He's a stuffed lizard that I got when I was a kid, but I think he kind of looks like a crystal lizard from, Demon Souls. Yes! Oh, shit. Oh, boy. And there we go. Now we're back into this room. But we have another power-up? Yeah, like the axe goes from here to here, and it doesn't hit right here. That, right, that boss very much seemed like that boss is kind of annoying as far as, like, how you have to think about it, where it's like, you have to not think about it like he's attacking you, and you have to be aware of the attacks. You have to think about it like he holds his axe in these different positions, which have hitboxes in these places that you need to not be standing in. You know what I mean? Which isn't very good. But actually doing the motions, though, to avoid it was pretty fun. You know what I mean? It was like the pattern that I was supposed to do to beat that boss was fun to do. It just wasn't super fun to get there. Yeah, I gotta collect some hearts and figure out what they do, what it does. Oh, there we go. What is it, a screen clear? The screen just went dark, or went blinky for a second, and then all the enemies disappeared. But, like, that's what the fire spell already does. The fire spell already just damages everything in the room. Alright, here we are. Next checkpoint. I think this is the last checkpoint in the game right here. Do. Dang bats. You ever heard someone call someone a dingbat? What the hell does that mean? That dude's a fucking dingbat. It sounds like one of those terms that comes from, like, it's like a hardware store thing. Pick up some wing nuts and some dingbats. Alright, get these bats down, and then 1, 2... It's an ornament, a glyph used in typesetting, often employed to create box frames, or as a dinkus? Dude, dinkus is way funnier. Dinkus. Because I've heard people call someone a dingus, but not a dinkus, you know? Like dingus with a G. I feel like that's not the actual origin of the word, you know? Unless we're talking like ancient times type setting. Like it's always been a thing. Right, like wingdings. Yeah, that is what I was thinking. It's gonna go middle. Except I don't know how to dodge that when he goes middle. Oh right, I forgot that him opening his fucking cape hurts you. Alright, now we get to this part, which I can't quite remember what to do. It's like you gotta be going right at this point. And then right here is when you wail on him. Then here you stand right here. Yeah. Alright, so there we go. We've beaten it. This time we have all of the, collectibles. So let's see. He looks very silly. So let's see if there's anything different about the, about the ending. So I've already read all this text. But all right, here we go. I think we already saw all this too. I'm struggling to figure out what the point of all the collection items is. This text goes by at a pretty decent clip. And then this credits music was awesome. There are as many legends in the world that deserve retelling as there are stars in the night sky. But this story marks the beginning of the Belmont family legend that has been passed on through many ages. And there is not a single person now who knows when the next legendary fight between another Prince of Darkness and human will begin. Did she let her hair down and we got that text before? Or was that... Maybe that was what we got for doing, for getting all the collection items. Yeah, I feel like before it went to like a... I feel like before the credit sequence was more standard. Maybe I just don't remember. Excuse the yawning. Yeah, I'm thinking like that maybe it's just a weird way to say that he's being reincarnated. But yeah, I like this music a lot. And then we'll also have to let's give a look through the manual and see if there's anything big that like I didn't know about. Oh, here we go! After some time, the young girl of our legend became a mother, whose child would carry on the fate and tragedy of the Belmont family, and the bloodline of dark ways, a child burdened with a cursed fate. And yet, this child, once content in the love of its mother, will also rise to fight courageously against the Prince of Darkness, who will return once again. Look how this child, who one day will be praised by all its people as a hero. But the legend must be told another time. Presented by Konami. Yeah. So here's our. This must be our special ending that we got for getting all the collectibles. There you go. That's pretty cool. And look at the way that the word courageously. Look at the word courageously when it pops up. They had to write it differently because it didn't fit. It looks like they had to make a special font for it. Look at that. They had to like write it out as like a picture. That's funny. Anyway, here's the manual. Let's zoom her in real quick, and then see. Different endings can be experienced depending on the number of items collected during the game. Alright. There you go. The hit score is the number of enemies defeated. I see. Oh, this tells you can move during crouching. A button plus B button is for use during the burning mode. Oh, so burning mode must be that thing where, like, we got super powerful for a minute. Oh yeah, there's the burning gauge. Man, if only I... Okay. Using Sonia's inborn self-defense ability, you can invoke this mode at will. During this mode, the player is invincible, their status being raised to twice the normal level. However, this mode can only be invoked once per life in every stage. Furthermore, this mode lasts for a limited time shown on the burning gauge. When the gauge runs out, they return to a normal state. Oh! So how do you invoke it? Because I did it by accident a couple times. We never used ice because it takes 20 hearts, I guess, so I never got it. Let's see here. And yeah, collected items, it just says determines your ending. So there you go, we got the good ending. What else we got here? In addition to the stages shown here, there are hidden stages. I found one hidden stage. I wonder if there's actually more. And there you go. There's the manual, once again. But yeah, I wonder how you actually, like, manually invoke burning mode. Interesting. Anyway, there you go. That's Castlevania Legends. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Oh yeah, the other game that we could start now, or anytime, is Oracle of Ages. Oh, my buddy fell. I could also start Oracle of Ages. I'm thinking I'm gonna come back with Nocturne, though. So, I will be right back. I'm gonna go take care of myself, get some more water, get another thing, you know, run to the bathroom, that kind of thing. So I will be right back. Thanks for watching Castlevania, and I'll see you guys for the next game.